Hey guys, this is Eric, OBXPicker, coming to you live with another Whatcha Pickin episode. Guys, if you look around, you might recognize where we're at. We're here in Cincinnati, and we're at the home of John, the Cincinnati picker. So we're going to be picking his brain today about what he's picking. All right, guys, so as promised, I'm here with John, Cincinnati picker. I'm going to let him introduce himself. If you don't know who he is, you should check out, he's got a great YouTube channel talking about his life as a picker. So, John, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been buying and selling now for 17 years, maybe 18 years. I'm losing track of time. When I was in high school, my grandma bought a piece of furniture at a garage sale and needed me to go get it with my truck. So I picked it up and they had all these sporting goods there, and I bought a bunch of them up for cheap and sold them to my work. Played against sports at the time and made like $100 on it, and I was hooked ever since. So I was buying and selling sporting goods for a pretty long time, focusing on that, and slowly I got into eBay a little bit, and more each year I would just buy different things, and I've been doing it full time now for 7 years.
So when you're out picking, obviously we all kind of have niches that we are into, like things that you're looking for, certainly. Is there one thing that in particular that you're into more than others, or?
Probably sporting goods, I guess, and like sports memorabilia. I'm a huge Reds fan. I played against sports for 10 years. Sorry, my alarm's going off, guys. So like I learned a ton about sporting goods. I'm kind of a nerd for like baseball bats and golf clubs and just all that stuff. And like it's something you see a lot. Like it's at a lot of sales and it's usually pretty cheap. And I go to a lot of sales too where like it's not out for sale, but I peek it in the garage and I can see some golf clubs and bats. So like I'll start asking people about it and they're like, you know what, yeah, we should sell that. And then they dig it out. So sporting goods is definitely maybe one of my favorite things to pick because it's almost always cheap and there's definitely some diamonds in the rough. But as you guys can see looking around here, I buy just everything. Collectibles, antiques, electronics, just whatever I can make a buck on.
Trivia time. Cincinnati has the oldest what in America? A, suspension bridge, B, pro baseball team, C, radio station. The answer is B. The current Reds franchise dates back to 1881. Before that, they were actually the Cincinnati Red Stockings and began in 18.
All right, guys, so as promised, we are going to take a look around this place and see what some of the stuff that John's been picking and what are those items and where did he get them?
So the room we're in now is my packing room, and it stores probably like 90% of the stuff that I have on eBay. I've got some other stuff in different parts of the shop that I'll show you guys. And most of the stuff is pretty current because I don't hang on to stuff for super long. I usually sell something within 2 to 3 months of finding it. So like for instance, here's a big pair of John Deere boots that I just picked up 2 weeks ago.
Those things are monsters.
Yeah, they're
man.
huge. They're 16. They're size 16. They're steel toe, new with the tags. I bundled them with something, so I got about $30 into them, and I've got them listed for like 150 or so.
Jeez.
I think I could probably get around $100. It's just, you know, waiting for the right person to come along. But the beauty of buying like really big shoes is that most of those guys can't just go to the store and get a pair of shoes.
True.
They know that. So
That's
they're looking
true.
on Amazon, they're looking on eBay, so I do think they will sell.
Yeah, that's a...
What else have I got in here? I've got all kinds of stuff in this room. It's kind of a little bit full right now. You can see I've got stuff stacked to the ceiling. These need to go. I've had these shoes for way too long. I've got these discounted. They need to sell.
I've got some stuff like that myself.
Yeah, I think we all do, don't we?
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
I picked this up last weekend. This is a realistic brand Walkie-Talkie with all the original packing and everything. It had been used, but it's in pretty good shape. The box is kind of beat up. But they used the same one in the show Stranger Things.
Yeah.
On Netflix. And when that came out, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, it really upped the value on these. I've got this one priced at $60. I paid $5. I think it'll go for that, but even if I've got to lower it a little bit, that's fine too.
Yeah, vintage electronics is something I'm into. I always scout out the old walkie-talkies, that kind of
it's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah,
And
cool.
a lot of times, even if it doesn't work, like you can still sell it for parts. Like even, I've sold this same walkie-talkie for parts for like $25 before.
Yep, like you're talking about Stranger Things. Obviously, when things are drawn into popularity again, people remember. Oh, yeah, that's something I had. Yeah, so that's
crazy
cool
when
to pick
pop
up.
culture can affect the price on it.
For sure.
I'm going to show you guys a bit of a bolo. I recently picked up a ton of vintage Halloween die-cut decorations.
Nice.
So here's one lot I've got of like 9 or 10 pieces. And these are a little bit older. They're by the company Luhrs, Luhrs. Most of them are by Luhrs anyways. And I think I've got this lot of 10 around 60 or 70, maybe closer to 100. I can't remember off the top of my head.
See, that's something that no one would even think to look at. Like
Exactly. And then this one right here is a very, very, very rare piece. This is a black cat. I think it's from like the 20s or 30s.
Wow.
Based on the comps. And the same one sold for like $250. Not too long ago.
In that kind of shape, like usually cardboard would be done. Like
it is in good condition for the age, for sure.
It's crazy.
So die-cut stuff does really good. Halloween, believe it or not, guys, is the #1 holiday to like buy and sell stuff, and it blows Christmas out of the water as far as like resale value. So like anytime you find Halloween stuff, like I've done really good selling like animated things like this. Like
is that the Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah. G-E-M-M-Y. They do the bass fish and the shark and all that. Keep it because like people sell that stuff cheap. Like I got that for $5 and it should go for like 40 or 50 bucks.
Yeah, it looks like you got another Halloween deal up there.
That's in the Belfry game.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love finding Halloween stuff. It does really, really well. I've got this like old hat that was with all that die cut stuff. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Halloween. Like it's a huge following. People buy that stuff up like crazy. So
I've got a crazy one that I picked up a while back. It's tin art, and it looks like Tim Burton driving a hearse, like Tim Burton skeleton. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Tim Burton stuff sells really, really well.
Yeah,
Nightmare Before Christmas, that's got a big cult following.
And Halloween's coming, man. Here we are in August. So
people are buying it up for sure. Like I was
in
Kroger, they're already selling like Oktoberfest beer and pumpkin spice, everything. So it's getting on people's brains. Like the shopping trends will definitely switch to Halloween very soon.
So looking around the room, like for me, I obviously pick up the trend that you're kind of like myself. Like I do like certain things, but I'll pick up about anything.
Yeah.
Like and you never know what's out there, and sometimes you have to adapt. Do you find yourself when you're at sales and they don't have the stuff you're looking at, you're like, man, I got to find something?
Oh yeah, for sure. So like every time I go to a sale, like I'm just scanning literally everything they have. I'm not scanning with a phone. I'm just scanning with my eyes. I'm just like looking like, because pretty much for the most part, every sale you go to, at least around here, there's something you can make a buck on.
That's it.
And then when you find it, you're just making a decision. Do I want to pay what they're asking? You know, do I want to mess with it or not? Because it's not always something that I want to mess with. But yeah, I don't go into it planning to find video games or sporting goods or whatever. Like I just go into it like, they've got something here I can make money on. I just need to figure out what it is.
That's it. So maybe what is some tools that you use when you're out there? I know we all have electronics now, but obviously there's some learning involved as well.
Right. So
what are some tips that
if you're having to like scan every single thing on eBay, like you'll just waste so much time. You know what I mean? I think the tools that could help you more than like necessarily knowledge of items is just like building the rapport with the person, chatting them up a little bit, and get ready for that negotiation. Like every time I go to a sale, I'm saying good morning, you know, how's the sale been going and all that stuff. And I'll ask them about items, and like a lot of times they'll tell you the history, and like they just want somebody to listen, and like you keep chatting it up, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, how about I make a pile of stuff and you work with me on price, and like kind of loosen it up a little bit. And like I've done really well like that, like just constantly trying to make deals with people. Like I've done really well at garage sales, and stuff like that.
Well, it is one of those things that I've noticed in your videos as well, is people when you leave the sale are excited that someone's got it that appreciates it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And a lot of people know that I'm selling it too, like all those baseball cards I just bought. Like he knew I was going to sell them, and he seemed relatively happy about it. He's like, yeah, you're going to make some good money on this, because he didn't want to list them all individually and go through all that work. Yeah, but I was kind of happy to do it. I like listing cards.
That's awesome.
Trivia time. What was the reason for the opening the Cincinnati Zoo? Caterpillar infestation, local wildlife relocation, or illegal animal trade? A. The Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden resulted from an infestation of caterpillars. 1872, they actually brought in birds to devour the caterpillars.
So guys, we're checking out through the warehouse, and obviously this is new to John. He's moved in here recently, so he's got stuff. I do love this collection he's got here on the wall of cool figures. So we're gonna come in this next room and see what he's got going on.
So this room right here is kind of an oddball room. I think it was meant to be a lobby because this used to be a realtor's office, and there's actually a ramp leading right up to this door. So I decided to make this kind of a holding area for stuff that I'm buying. So last week this room was clean, like you can see the floor, but I just went on a private pick on Sunday and bought a ton of stuff, like toys, dolls, all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of just like holding area for that right now. But I've got G.I. Joes in here, I've got some receivers, and I think there's like a Pioneer cassette deck, just a lot of stuff that I've recently been buying because I like to sort things as it comes in before I put it in my workspace. Yeah, that's a pretty cool G.I. Joe one.
Yeah, dude, man. Yeah, those are always cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to sort it because some of it I'm just going to put in my shop and sell it for cheap, and then some of it I'm going to set aside and put on eBay. So this is where I figure out what's going where. Got a whole case of vintage toys at that one sale. That's a good one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, here's a astronaut from the 60s.
Wow.
Some Love Boat figures from the 80s, a couple Wonder Woman things. Some of these are just like little cheapo Happy Meal things, so nothing super cool. But yeah, there's some nice pieces in here.
Gems in there.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that's cool. It's all, and that's one of the other points is a lot of people I think picking is just to do with antiques or just to do with certain niches, but man, there's stuff all across the map. Like you can pick stuff for resale or for your collection. Like, I mean, we came down the hall, we saw, the collection you've got. Obviously there's other collectibles that I know you have that we'll probably take a look at, but when people think of picking, like there's all kinds of ways to pick, and
there really is, especially like watching everybody's YouTube channels. There's a million different ways to do this and do it successfully.
Right.
Like I always will give advice. I do it like this, I do it like that, but that doesn't mean somebody else has to do it like that. Like I've learned so many different things watching all these channels that like I can implement something from one person and implement something from another one, and just like make yourself a better all-around reseller. Like, is
that's it.
My best advice. Just watch as many different YouTube channels as you possibly can. Like that's Mr. OBXPicker here.
There you go. There you go. You can learn a little bit of stuff like how to buy Legos in bulk.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, we no, and honestly, that's how I've learned a ton. Is watching guys like yourself. There's several guys that I do watch more regular than I do other people, and usually it's the guys who are like myself who are picking across the board. Yeah. Or if I want to learn about something specific and it's a guy who specializes, then that's what I do as well. So I know, going a little further back, I know that you used to mess with auctions and had an auction company and did all that. Did that help further the education?
Oh, big time, yeah. So, water's getting delivered. Culligan's here. So I had an online auction business for 4 years, and I loved it. I just worked like 70, 80 hours a week. So once the family grew a little bit, I had to kind of shift gears, so I sold that. But every day, people would bring stuff in for us to auction off, and they would educate me on what it was. So that was amazing. I saw so much stuff come through that door. I learned a lot, and it definitely helps me a lot now in reselling.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, this obviously looks like the photo room, and I know that you, like everybody else that sells online, have to deal with that aspect of the picking's usually the fun part, right? This is where the work comes in.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, this is my photo room, and this is where I hold things that I'm going to list on eBay. The racks are kind of empty right now because I did a lot of sorting and I got stuff out of here to make room for the stuff in that front room. That's kind of the idea. Is like it comes in here, I list it, and then it goes into the room where everything's listed. But yeah, I've got a TV. Like I keep myself entertained. I came across these. I think think maybe like 6 months ago. This is called Plastex, Plastex. It's similar to stuff they'll use for like bathroom shower walls, like a really cheap version, you know what I mean? But it wipes clean really well, and I think it photographs pretty good. I know a lot of people are using the new app nowadays that kind of removes the background, but like this has worked for me. I really like it. The lights I've had for like 5 years, they're LED panel lights, but
There you
I can't really find a place that sells them anymore, but I like them. I used to have those huge umbrella lights that sit on the floor, but I hate using the floor space. You know, I try to put as much.
I have the stand ring light as kind of a thing.
Yeah, the ring lights are good. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff right now. I bought a crap load of hats here recently, and I went through those, and these are all the ones I'm not going to list, so I need to get them out of here. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a mess right now. It seems like it's always a mess. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah,
this is the emptiest it's been actually in quite a while. So
for sure,
to get new stuff in here, start listing it.
Yeah, hats for me are something I enjoy as well. Is picking those up because they do have value. But all right, guys. So one of the things unique that John does here is he actually has a place where you can set up appointments and come and buy some of the stuff that he's picked. A lot of the Cincinnati Red stuff he has. I know he's known for wearing the Cincinnati Red hat, so you know he's a Cincinnati fan. But I think he's a lot like me, and most everything's for sale. If the price is right, it can be yours, just like the price is right. So,
up here. So I do one big sale a month, and pretty much everything up here is stuff that I don't want to mess with on eBay. Like it could go for $10, $15 ish, and I just don't want to mess with it, so I'll sell it for $1 or $2. Like I need to get rid of a lot of this stuff. Wow. And a lot of this stuff here was in my first sale that didn't sell, so I'm just gonna put it all half off for this next one and get rid of it. But yeah, like vinyl records have done really well for me. Cameras, vintage. We got a lot of records. I've got like 5 totes full of records right now. So I'm gonna do another sale a week from Saturday, so I'm kind of prepping for that one. Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shop through.
So guys, if you're watching this video, by the time it drops, you might be able to come and get some of this. Especially in the half off room.
That's right.
Oh yeah. You do have all kinds of stuff.
Pretty good variety.
Check out the sword. Oh yeah, now you're speaking my language right here.
There you go, man. That can't be yours.
I just had one very similar to that.
Oh yeah?
One of the tubes was blown in it. The back.
Oh really?
Yeah. Bad. All right, so I know obviously this is a new addition for you, but what other platforms are you selling items on? Like people?
I do Facebook Marketplace a good bit. Just the other day I had some Halloween blow molds, and I've put some of those on eBay and I've shipped them out, but those are like full of rocks and I didn't want to mess with them. So like sometimes Facebook Marketplace is great just to throw something on there. Like I paid $4 for 2 blow molds and sold them for $100 on Facebook Marketplace. So
There you go.
Just depends on what it is, you know. It's usually more specific things that I'll put on there.
Gotcha. So the other thing that I was thinking about is, so is there things that you pick that like, hey, this is going home? Is it going home?
A lot of the Cincinnati Red stuff, vintage baseball cards. I've got a little collection of vintage baseball cards. That's the stuff I tend to collect the most. But you know, even when I don't keep it, with reselling, you end up keeping something for a little while anyway. So I kind of enjoy it while I have it, and then get rid of it and let somebody else enjoy it.
I always tell people, they ask me if I collect. I said I collect till it sells, and if I like it, I just raise the price. That's kind of what I do.
Exactly, yeah. But I don't want to sell the price, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Pickers.
There you go. All right, guys. So it's been great hanging out with John here at his place, and I'm going to ask him one final, like, if he could give a tip to you guys out there picking, like, what would that be?
My tip would be just be a sponge and try to learn as much as you possibly can. I've been doing this a long time, and I definitely don't know everything, and I'm always trying to learn from other people and grow your network. Just constantly You know, introduce yourself to people, tell them what you do when you're at garage sales or when you're at places buying stuff, because it could really open a lot of doors. So
There you go.
just always be thinking about the next thing.
There you go. Hey, and guys, we do thank you for tuning in. Whatcha Pickin. We're going to be putting John's channel information. If you don't know who he is for some unknown reason, you can check out his channel. And once again, we do thank you for joining Whatcha Pickin. You guys go out there, have some great finds and some even better picks.